Oh yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Uncut Sports. No feelings. So today Caleb Williams is reportedly going to get some snaps with the first team offense today. Looking very forward to that. And on a side note, those of you out there who are still pro ramen noodle arm Bajent, some of you individuals out there still in the Bajent camp, putting your beef spices on your ramen noodles when you're watching Bajent play. You're just foaming at the mouth like, oh my God, Bajent, he's my hero. You're so great, Tyson Bajent. Yeah, I'm talking to you dudes. Talking to y'all out there. Today, bear witness the Caleb Williams era has started. I know it's preseason. He might play one or two series, this and that, but as a rookie, getting your feet wet is very important. It's something you want to see. You want to see how he's, for the first time in his career, having to huddle, having to take the ball from under center. He was at USC. He was used to being in the shotgun like all the time, next to all the time. Shotgun, 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 shotgun. He had hollow point shells at USC. He was in a shotgun so much. And now he has to adapt to being under center, if not the majority of the time, at least 80% of the time. He has to get used to being in actual huddles because, like, at USC, he would look over to the sideline. They would give him hand signals as far as what play to run, this and that, and certain hand signals for the primary play, secondary hand signals for what you can audible to while you're at the line of scrimmage. So that was the dynamic when he was at USC, and a lot of college quarterbacks do that. But in the NFL, you actually huddle, you actually call the plays, get up to the line of the scrimmage. You see something in a defense that you don't like, you have to know what you're looking at. You have to be able to, and the veteran offensive linemen that you have in front of you, they should be able to help you with this. In theory, because they should know the plays too. They should be able to point out the Mike linebacker and, oh, he's dropping back, or he might come. Secondary shifting. You got to be able to do all these mental gymnastics and transactions at the line of scrimmage before the snap clock runs out, before the clock runs out. We're not trying to get into a whole bunch of delay of games because we want to see what you can do, young man. And this is why today is going to be very exciting for long-time suffering Bears fans as far as looking at quarterback carousels being cycled in and out over the decades. And we're like, holy crap. Will we ever have a franchise quarterback? Who knows? We still might not have one for all we know, but at least we're going to start seeing one way or another. Today, he's probably going to be out there one or two series. The last preseason game, which would be the third game, over the years, a lot of teams have been very conservative playing their starting quarterback heavy snaps in the preseason. Even though Caleb is a rookie, like in the old days, they used to let the starters play 3 quarters in the last preseason game. I'm not sure they're gonna do that with Caleb next week. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure they're gonna do that. He I'm thinking he probably will play one quarter next week. That's what I'm thinking. They'll probably play him one quarter so he can get his feet wet and actually get used to not only calling plays in the huddle, making changes in the line of scrimmage, being able to see what he's looking at and identifying what he's looking at, and actually running the offense the way he's going to be required to during the regular season. Not only that, being able to do all that, and then you have to form a marriage with all of that with your footwork. You have to have proper footwork so things can go smoothly. Now, in my personal opinion, footwork is very important. But if you can put the ball where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there, personally, I don't give a damn about footwork. I know that's a controversial take when looking at NFL quarterbacks. No, you got to have proper footwork. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Everything has to be in sync so everything can look nice and smooth. No, I don't care about that. Put the ball where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there, and I could care less about footwork. I don't know how Shane Waldron looks at it. You know, this his first year being offensive coordinator for the Bears. He's been heavy-handed in his coaching of Caleb. Hopefully he's not coaching too much out of, as far as the raw ability and his talents. You don't want to scrub too much of his natural talent, having him out there overthinking situations. But he should have basic common sense at quarterback play out there. And hopefully Shane Waldron is the coach that can get him there. And if he is, another controversial take that I personally have is if Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams really connects, we should really visit Shane Waldron being the head coach instead of Mike Eberflus. I don't have anything personal against Matt Eberflus. I just don't think he's a great head coach. And the most important coach on this coaching staff is Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator. You look at the trend of offensive-minded coaches with franchise quarterbacks in the NFL, these teams not only are always in the playoffs, but are winning Super Bowls and or knocking on the door to the Super Bowl. This is the way to go. If Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams are able to mesh, and Caleb really starts developing and taking leaps and bounds, adding on to the natural talent he already has, I think it's safe to say, and it's fair to speculate and think about making Shane Waldron the head coach, because I think Matt Eberflus has reached his ceiling already anyway. What he is now is what he will always be. He's not the guy to develop a franchise quarterback. He's a defensive-minded coach. He's going to be calling the defense. He's basically a glorified defensive coordinator with the head coaching title. That's all he is. That's why I'm like, you know what? If Shane Waldron proves that he's that guy, that he can elevate Caleb Williams, I put it in the same category as Doug Collins and Phil Jackson. Doug Collins was a great coach. He was a great coach. He did a lot for Michael Jordan. But Phil Jackson was that dude when it came to developing and meshing superstar personalities and talent and getting them to the mountaintop to be the GOAT that we know as Michael Jordan. We don't know if Caleb Williams is going to be like that or even come even close to that. Come even close to Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. We don't know, but using the Chicago Bulls analogy, Shane Waldron could very well be Phil Jackson. This is why Tyson Bagent is QB3. Everybody was thinking, oh, he could battle Caleb Williams for the starting job. These ramen noodle enthusiasts, ramen noodle arm Bagent supporters thought, hey, Caleb should have to battle Tyson Bagent for the starting job. When you got a backup quarterback, hold on, let me look up this dude's name. Because I'm having a brain fire right now. What's his name? Brett Rippin. Okay. Brett Rippin snapped last week. This is why there's so many questions now. Like, wait a minute. I mean, yeah, Tyson Bagent was cool in his limited play last year. We know when Justin Fields was hurt, even though, he was throwing a lot of picks and stuff like that. There was some shining moments for Tyson Bagent. But like I always say, ramen noodle arm Bagent, his arm is not strong enough to be a franchise QB, to be a number one QB. He can come in if your number one QB is hurt or suspended or whatever. But going into the season where that's your number one guy, no. That's why Brett Ripken is QB2. He played in Shane Waldron's offense. He knows the offense. He knows the check downs where people are going to be. He knows how to recognize blitzes. He knows what he's looking at. I don't care what kind of exercises Tyson Bagent did in the offseason, arm wrestling or whatever the hell he does to try to make that noodle arm stronger. Sometimes you either have it or you don't, and Tyson Bagent does not have it. He has a noodle arm, chicken noodle soup arm. This is why he's QB3, and Brett Ripken is QB2. And Caleb Williams is QB1, and I'm looking forward to seeing some snaps today. Sure, there's going to be a lot of handoffs, but I'm sure they're going to allow him to throw at least a little bit. So we're going to check this out, and we're going to stay tuned. Thank you for listening to Uncut Sports, no fill-ins, and we will talk after the game. Bear down.